The only way for that to happen is if you had to know where the murder was going to take place at before it happened. You had to know exactly where this murder was going to take place. Pay attention, y'all. For these niggas to be literally, pay attention, for these niggas literally to beat the police to the scene of the murder, to be on at the same Pacific spot Mo 3 got killed, before the police got there, before the ambulance got there, that means certain motherfuckers knew where the murder was going to take place at before it took place. Bro, he said, I don't know if you know, but it's a video of this guy named Captain Keith and Johnny Store, and they break the whole situation down. That's me, bro. That's me. That's me, man. You talking to him. This is me. I'm Captain Keith, man. That's me. You already know. Damn, I thought you could hear it in my voice, man. I thought you could hear it in my voice. You ain't know that was me, man. That's me. I'm the one that made that video. I'm the one that's been telling niggas from the jump what the fuck was going on. That video I did, that video we made, I did over 200,000 views on that video. One of the first videos me and Jonathan did over 200,000 because we were speaking the truth. Why you think that video did so much? Why y'all think that video did over 200,000? Why y'all think? Know why? Because the police seen it. They shared it. The police knew it was the truth. The police knew. They was like, oh, this nigga know what he talking about. This nigga know what he talking about. Niggas knew I knew what I was talking about then. Like I said, I've been telling niggas this shit since Ratchet TV. Since we was on Ratchet, since we was on MHB, since we was on SCO, I've been telling these niggas this shit and everything that was going on. I've been telling niggas what was going on. Now you know why them niggas didn't run up in Jossie crib and kill Mo 3 that night. They had $25,000 worth of reasons why. $25,000 worth of reasons why not to run up in her crib. She gave them niggas that 25 grand. That's why I said all you gotta do is pay attention. All you gotta do is pay attention, y'all. All this shit coming to light. So now we know. And check this out, y'all. If I'm Bubba family, I'm filing a wrongful death lawsuit on Louisville police. If I'm Bubba's family in Dixon Circle in Dallas, I'll be filing a lawsuit on Louisville police. A wrongful death lawsuit on Louisville police. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. All right, you have a good one. Bubba would still be alive today, y'all. Bubba would still be alive today if Louisville police didn't tell Yellow Beezy who the car belonged to that tried to kill him on the highway. Let me say that again. Bubba would still be alive today if Louisville police didn't tell Yellow Beezy, Marquise Conway, who the car belonged to that tried to kill him in Louisville, Texas on Rayburn Turnpike. And because they told Yellow Beezy this information, Yellow Beezy took it upon himself to put a hit out on Bubba. Now, this is another thing. Don't be surprised to see. Don't be surprised if there is another murder for hire coming. Don't be surprised if Bubba murder gets solved in the next couple months. Don't be surprised, huh? Because now we know that the only reason Bubba is dead is because of the information that was provided by Louisville. And if I'm Bubba family members, if I'm related to Bubba, if I'm Bubba mother, if I'm Bubba daddy, if I'm the grandmother, if I was them, I'll go contact a lawyer. I'll be contacting the lawyer and I'll be trying to sue the shit out of Louisville. I'll be trying to sue the shit out of Louisville, y'all. Louisville police station deliberately gave up privileged information that wasn't supposed to be given up, y'all. They deliberately gave up information thinking that it was going to get Yellow Beezy to cooperate against Mo3. And all it did was give a killer information to commit a murder. Let me say this again. Louisville police thought they was given information that was going to help Yellow Beezy or scare Yellow Beezy. I guess they thought they was going to scare Yellow Beezy into snitching on Mo3 and to helping them and cooperating against Mo3. So they decided to tell Yellow Beezy that the minivan that shot him up on the highway, that the van that was following him, the minivan that was following him, was registered to Mo3 security guard, his head security guard. Pay attention, y'all. Now, I want to know, why would Louisville do that? Why would Louisville Police Department do that? These niggas ain't rookies. These niggas ain't new to the game. Why would you volunteer that type of information to a nigga who just got shot up and attempt murder was on his life? Think about that, y'all. Since when do you tell a nigga, like, yo, I just want to warn you, the niggas that just tried to kill you, yo, the car, I don't know who's in the car, but the car is registered to Mo3's head of security. And we know who Mo3 head of security was, right? We all know who Mo3 head of security was. So if Mo3 know that the people that just tried to kill him was Sean G and Bubba, say it again. I'm gonna say it again. So now Yellow Beezy know that the nigga that just tried, the two niggas that just tried to kill me on this turnpike is Sean G and Bubba. Because what? The car is registered to Sean G. That's why Sean G had a PR bond. That's why Sean G got released from the feds for free. That's why he never had to bond out of the feds. Sean G, the only nigga I know that never had to bond out the feds. Every time he got picked up by the feds, he got out for free. You could go. He never had to pay $1 to get out that bitch. Never had to pay $1. Everything free. Come on, man. Why you think when I called the feds on Sean G, they didn't do nothing? Because he was working. Why you think when I called the feds on Sean G and I told them niggas, y'all better come get this nigga, something bad gonna happen? They didn't do nothing because he was working. They needed him. They needed him. He was already working. So pay attention. That's why them niggas ain't do nothing. Cause you know me. I'm gonna give you all the information. I'm gonna tell them everything that's fucking going on. I'm gonna give you the information. Like, yo, my nigga, this nigga did this, he did that, he said this, and I can prove it. And any nigga that's on federal bond, pay attention, y'all. You on federal bond, and I call the FBI and tell them that you making terroristic threats, and you talking about you gonna do this, and you gonna what you gonna do to a nigga when you see him, and the feds don't rearrest you on a violation when they already let you out for free. Let me say this: the feds don't rearrest you on a violation because their job is to protect the public, my nigga. Their job is to protect the public. So if you are on federal bond, you can't do certain things on federal bond, like threaten people, tell people when you see them you're gonna kill them, and tell people you'll do this. You can't do that on federal bond. So this nigga was on the internet doing all that shit on federal bond. We talked to the FBI, and the FBI did nothing. Now you know why. The FBI didn't do nothing because he was working. He was on PR bond working the whole time. We can't afford to put him back in jail. Why you think your boy didn't go to jail until they actually? How you doing, Tony? Why you think Sean G didn't go do what's up? Why you think Sean G didn't go do his time until after they actually filed charges on Yellow Beezy? None of y'all actually said, damn, it's mighty funny. Now all of a sudden he going to do his time. Give me 1 minute, y'all. Give me 1 minute. All right. Yeah, so pay attention, y'all. Now, so like I was saying, it's right there in y'all face, dog. It should be right there in y'all face. Niggas don't even be want to pay attention. I told y'all when I called, I said, "Oh, they let this nigga do this. Oh yeah, he worked for him. You ain't getting a PR bomb, and then out here talking crazy. Nah, it don't work like that. Yeah, it don't work like that. If you get a PR bond, first of all, PR bonds are for good boys. PR bonds are for people who never been in trouble before. Personal recognizance bond. All right, that means you was a good boy. You never been in trouble. You're not a threat to society, to the public. And we know that the boogeyman was a threat to the public. We know that the boogeyman pulled guns on DJ D Real. We know that the boogeyman got in the fight on Harry Hines and pulled the gun on old boy from G Nation. We know the boogeyman car was used in the midst of a shooting in Louisville. These are all things that the FBI already knew. These are all things that the FBI knew. So if the FBI knew all this and they let you out on a PR bomb, what do that tell y'all? Same thing I told y'all in the beginning. The nigga was working. But guess what, y'all? Sean G was working against Mo 3. Sean G was working against Mo 3. If Mo 3 would have never died, Sean G was going to put Mo 3 in jail. Sean G was going to put Mo 3 in jail, y'all. And I could prove it. Sean G was literally working to put Mo 3 in jail the whole time. Before Mo 3 died. How do we know that? Because Sean G got brought in. Sean G got brought in by Louisville police, y'all. If you think for 1 minute, Louisville police told Yellow Beezy that minivan belonged to Mo 3 head of security, but they didn't bring Sean G in and talk to him, you crazy. They brought him in. They talked to him. And guess what? The feds talked to Sean G. You want to know why the feds talked to him? Because the crime was committed on a turnpike, on a federal turnpike. Yeah. All right, let me write down for you. Yeah, outside, bro. They told me you can't come in, bro. I told you they got you on camera stealing 2 waters. Sorry about that, but she's got you on camera stealing 2 waters, my nigga. And you really can't come back because you know what I'm saying? Because he would chill up here with me every night. And he ain't here talking to me. But Gene, when I turn my head, you stealing. Right here. What's good, bro? What is it? Said oh yeah, he was gonna put Mo 3 in jail, dog. Sean G was about to put Mo 3 in jail. Mo 3 would be locked up because of Sean G. That's why it's funny to me that this nigga came through to the Mo 3 sector trying to act like he fuck with Mo 3. But the whole time he was about to put Mo 3 in jail. He was about to get Mo 3 locked up. That's what's crazy to me, y'all. The whole fucking time, Sean G is in the Mo 3 sector, acting like he fuck with Mo 3. My nigga, I knew it was the reason why Rainwater played that nigga the way he did, y'all. Y'all better pay attention. It was the reason why Rainwater didn't trust that nigga. Even Rainwater don't trust that nigga. I knew it was the reason why Mo 3 and Rainwater looked at that nigga the way they did. Sean G was about to put Mo 3 in jail. Sean G was telling on Mo 3 with the Yellow Beezy situation, y'all. The shooting that took place on Rayburn Parkway Turnpike, Rayburn Turnpike in Louisville. Sean G was telling. He was giving up all the information. And that's why the feds cut him a good deal. Y'all see that shit? That's why the feds cut that nigga a good ass deal. That's why that nigga went to the feds and walked in and walked out. That's why that nigga was on house arrest longer than he was in jail, y'all. The nigga was on house arrest longer than he was in jail. How the fuck you on house arrest for the feds longer than you even in prison? Nigga go to prison for damn near 12 months. Nigga, you be on house arrest the whole time they was trying to solve Mo 3 case. Nigga, the whole time they was trying to solve Mo 3 case, this nigga was on house arrest. Pay attention. Well, so-called house arrest. I don't believe he was ever on house arrest because he was still leaving that fucking house. He was still going outside. He was still hitting the block. So I don't believe he ever was on house arrest. I believe that was all a fake. I believe the ankle monitor was really a recorder. Let's keep it real. I believe the ankle monitor was really a recorder. You know, they got recorders that look like ankle monitors, y'all. Look it up. They got recorders that look like ankle monitors, and they want you to think that the nigga is on house arrest or being monitored, and the whole time he's actually recording everything. He actually got a whole recording device on. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. So now we know the truth. Sean G was working on taking Mo 3 down in exchange for his freedom. Sean G was working on taking Mo 3 down for the exchange of his freedom. The feds knew that Sean G was responsible, along with Bubba, for shooting Yellow Beezy. The feds knew. Yeah, y'all hear me? The feds knew that Sean G car and Sean G was the driver. The feds knew. Louisville police knew. And if Louisville police knew, the feds knew. Because guess what? Louisville got to contact the feds. Louisville automatically had to contact the federal government, the feds, and get them involved because this took place on the turnpike, which is federal property. Just like if you get arrested on a plane, the city police come, but then they got to contact the feds. Let me say this again. You get arrested on a plane, guess what? The city police take you off the plane, then the feds contact you. Now it's a federal crime on the plane. Ain't no difference on the turnpike. Ain't no difference. George Bush Turnpike, federal turnpike. funded by federal dollars. Anything funded by federal dollars is federal jurisdiction. That's why Sean G didn't do no time in the feds, because he was helping the federal government along as well as the state of Texas, as well as the state of Texas solve this crime. And this crime was considered a high profile crime. And being that this crime is a high profile crime, Sean G up in there like, I'll tell you who told us to go kill Yellow Beezy. I was just the driver. That's what Sean G told the police and the feds. That's what he told them. I was just the driver. Bubba was the shooter. I was the driver. Bubba jumped out the car and started shooting. How y'all think Yellow Beezy got away? How you think he got away? Because the nigga Mo 3 sent 2 fat niggas to do a skinny nigga job. Come on. I'm keeping it real with y'all. How you think Yellow Beezy didn't die that night? How you think Yellow Beezy was able to get out the car after a flip, run and jump his ass in a pond? How you think he was able to go jump in the pond of water? Because Mo 3 sent 2 fat motherfuckers to do a skinny man job. How you gonna send big ass Sean G and big ass Bubba to do a drill that you might have to jump out the car on? These niggas thought they was gonna do a drive-by, a straight drive-by. Come on, man. And then you want to know the craziest shit, y'all? Let me tell y'all the craziest shit. The craziest shit, these 2 niggas is enemies, right? Yellow Beezy and Mo 3 fucking enemies. But they both lived in Frisco. That's the craziest shit to me, dog. You niggas is enemies in the city, but both live in the fucking suburb of Frisco. So we're gonna go to Dallas and commit our crimes. We're gonna go to Dallas and fuck niggas up, pop our shit. How you doing, love? We're gonna go to Dallas and pop our shit. But guess what? At nighttime when we go lay our head, these niggas was probably both on the highway looking at each other drive back to Frisco. Both of them driving to the same motherfucking spot. Both of these niggas live in Frisco. Like, make it make sense, man. Make it make sense. Yellow Beezy lived in fucking Frisco. Mo 3 lived in Frisco. Mo 3 bought his mama a house in Frisco. Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 minute.